The evening lights of the city shimmered through the glass walls of the most exclusive restaurant in town. Inside, businessmen discussed mergers, couples whispered over champagne, and the aroma of rich delicacies filled the air. Yet at a quiet table near the entrance, a man sat with his young daughter, the world outside fading into silence around them. Ethan Knight, known to the corporate world as a ruthless and brilliant CEO, wasn't just a man in a tailored navy blue suit. He was a story of scars hidden behind steel eyes. Once married, once a believer in love, he had been abandoned when his wife walked away, leaving him with nothing but a little girl in his arms. Since then, his empire grew, his name shook markets, but his heart belonged only to one person, his daughter, Emily. Emily was his everything. She was the reason he smiled after long days, the reason he remembered he was still human under the weight of power and responsibility. She was dressed that evening in a pink gown, looking like a doll come to life, her golden curls catching the glow of the chandeliers. Ethan watched her with a rare softness, his usual guarded aura melting away in her presence. "Daddy, look," she giggled, swinging her tiny legs, showing him how neatly she had cut her bread. Ethan chuckled, clinking his glass of water to hers as if they were equals at a business dinner. In his world of deals and deadlines, she was the only partner who truly mattered. But then, Emily's laughter stopped. Her big blue eyes drifted past the sparkling plates, past the polished floor, to where a figure knelt quietly by the pavement near their table. It was a young woman. Her dress was torn, stained from days of struggle. Her hair was messy, her face pale, her body trembling from hunger. She tried to make herself invisible, her head bowed low, but Emily saw her. Children always saw what adults ignored. Emily's lips parted, and she tugged at her father's sleeve with urgency. "Daddy," she whispered. Her small finger pointed straight at the woman. "She looks hungry, can I share my food with her?" The restaurant noise faded in Ethan's ears. For years, he had commanded rooms with his voice, brought tycoons to silence, and never once had he been shaken by a decision. Yet his daughter's simple question left him speechless. His eyes followed Emily's gaze. The young woman's eyes lifted for a brief second, meeting his. They were tired, red from holding back tears, yet deep within them flickered dignity, an unwillingness to beg, even when the world had stripped everything else from her. Ethan's throat tightened. He had spent years shielding himself, focusing only on success and fatherhood, never letting strangers into his carefully guarded world. But now, watching his daughter's innocent concern and the woman's quiet suffering, something inside him stirred. Emily tugged again, firmer this time. "Daddy, please, can we help her?" Ethan inhaled deeply, then stood, his towering frame drawing the attention of nearby diners. Slowly, he walked toward the young woman, his polished shoes echoing against the floor. She flinched, as if expecting harsh words or rejection. But instead, his voice was low, almost gentle. "Come sit with us." She shook her head instantly, panic flashing in her eyes. I can't. I don't belong here," she whispered, her voice hoarse from hunger and shame. Before Ethan could reply, Emily slid off her chair, ran over, and clasped the woman's hand with her tiny fingers. "Yes, you can," she said firmly, her little voice filled with the kind of innocence that shattered walls. "You're my guest now." The woman's eyes widened, tears spilling freely as the little girl pulled her to the table. Ethan signaled the waiter with a commanding look. "Another plate," he said. Then, after a pause that softened his tone, "Bring her the best you have." The woman sat slowly, her hands trembling as she touched the silverware, as if it were forbidden. Ethan watched quietly, his guarded exterior cracking as he saw her struggle to even believe she was worthy of a meal. Emily, however, had no such hesitation. She placed a piece of bread on the woman's plate with a bright smile. "See? Now you're my friend," Emily declared proudly. The woman's tears fell harder, but they weren't just from hunger anymore. They were from warmth, a warmth she thought she had lost forever. Ethan leaned back, studying her quietly. He didn't know her story yet, didn't know why life had broken her down. But he knew one thing, his daughter's heart had seen what his own eyes had missed. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt the ice around his soul begin to melt. That night wasn't just about feeding the hungry. It was about rediscovering humanity. About a father who realized love wasn't weakness, about a woman who found hope in the most unexpected place, and about a little girl whose innocent kindness had changed 3 lives forever. And as the evening lights glowed brighter, Ethan knew, this moment, born from a child's pure heart, was only the beginning.